posted. Welcome everyone. And we lost our camera footage. We're coming back. We're back on. We are back on. Let's see. Sure. All right. Welcome guys. Welcome to Daily Trades by Ren. My name is Ren. Today is July 13th, 2026. Today is July 13th, 2026. You're joining me. Uh, my name is Ren on Daily Trades by Ren. Okay, so we gotta make sure. We gotta make sure. We got to make sure. We got to make sure that this is updated correctly. All right. Let's see if we have any hiccups with our trading. All right. All right. Cool. Cool, guys. As you can see there, for a little bit, you saw my total for my account. I only got $90. So that's what I gotta work with, guys. All right, I think I added some new um indicators. I don't know. I don't know. Oh no, I haven't had any new indicators yet. Not on this app. Not on Robinhood Legends. Okay, so it's 6:30 yet? No, we're getting close to 6:30, guys. What is this right here? 6:24. 6:24. We are at 6:23, going to 6:24. All right, let's go look at our news. Let's look at our pre-market news. All right, pre-market news for today, guys. Pre-market news for today. Hello, 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 hello. All right, testing, testing. Pre-market news for today, guys. We have a lot of geopolitical news. Iran's top joint military command to leader of regional countries. Any cooperation with the U.S. will be considered war against Iran. If war widens, it will react all of the countries of the region. Responsibility lies on the U.S. and its allies. So renewed U.S.-Iran conflict lifts oil prices. Pre-bell Monday. So all ETF equity future lower because of that reason. Okay, everything slips. Dow Jones, Nasdaq, S&P 500 future slips as U.S. and Iran strikes. Saratoga, ExxonMobil, Levi Strauss in focus. Updated. Trump says we had a deal with Iran and Iran broke it. We will be guardian of the strait and get paid for it. So oil demand growth from 720 oh, 970K to 780K barrels a day. So bank earnings this week. Citigroup is the one to watch. That's it. That's what we have for headlines, guys. Um, we're at 6:30 right now, I believe. Nope, 6:28. We're getting there. We're getting there. So it seems like we're. It seems like we're at a price line that's we're at the 752 mark. I'm not in position yet. If looking at the 4 hour time frame, look at the 4 hour time frame. Okay, for since um, all last week we were bearish bull moving in an upward direction, right? So we went from like around 740 ish. We was that as low as what? Right here, 731 actually. We'll just keep it at 740. 740, and we went up to all the way. Um, well, last on Friday we went all the way up to 756. Now we're back at around 752. So that's what we got going on. So it seems like we have a same thing. You know what I mean? We have a, a bearish movement. Here we go. The market's open, guys. The market is open for trading. What we got going on? Just moving to the 1 minute candle. And look like we got a good buy signal. Immediate uh, dump right after we got the buy signal. Pumping back up. I don't know. I mean, we started off kind of weak. Pre-market negative. We're gonna have to wait. Yeah, I wouldn't play it. I'm playing it safe right now. Ooh, good jump. What would you guys do, guys? What would you guys do? Oh, let's go to the 1 minute. Sorry about that. Yeah, there you go. Good jump right there. What would you guys do, guys? Would you? Ooh, that's a pretty decent jump. It went right past the price line, moving towards 753 really fast. I'm gonna try this new thing. So we're gonna take the range of today's um I guess yeah. We're gonna have to see a retest somewhere and then see if we're gonna continue a trend going upward or downward. Right now it seems like the movement is upward bullish. See we're already seeing a pull back down immediately after the pump. So I mean we did start off at a what do they call it, a slip, right? Because of the situation in the Middle East, in Iran. So I'm gonna play that scenario out. But if you guys want to take a bearish movement, this is a good spot right here. If you're gonna go towards the news headline, we'll look at the news headline again. They probably added something. Nope, haven't added anything yet. Same thing. Military strikes in Iran. Okay, we still got a bearish bull sentiment. Look at the VIX. The VIX is at 1620. 1620. It's pretty low still. You know what I mean? 1617. That means it's pushing up, but it's weakening. I don't know. I don't know. We do have a good. Uh, we do have a good push in the beginning, but the 630. We got that one right there. 630. Boom. See, we're pushing. We got our boom. Let's look at some contracts. If I were to do some puts, I mean, this is gonna be my best put situation right here. And I should be able to get some money for this. Jeez, what's going on? Okay, I see it. I see it. Um, let's buy here. Um, actually, we so right now, where is it at? I can't lock. How do? Yeah, I can't lock my. Let's see here. I think it's just gonna hover right here. 753. Definitely got some bearish thing going on right now. It's gonna be tough to say, but you know, it could just sit here the whole day at 753. Be very boring to watch. Possibly very low volume. So our volume right there, right now, is at 3 million. Usually by the end, no, 2,500,000. Usually it'll go up to like by end of day, it's like 30 million around there. All right, still got that bullish sentiment. So I was gonna show you that my discounted price. Yeah, they're not gonna give me anything. Oh, there you go. That's not bad. 45. Don't have enough buying power to cover the collateral. Deposit funds. I yeah, I need about probably like good $15, $16 deposit to execute. I mean, it's not strong enough movement for me to like want to get in. So this is if I were going to go long, right? Based on my initial um, assessment at 6:30, when the first candle was a bull buy signal candle. So 6:30, we got this candle right here. This candle right here. Ah, that's a very bad one. All right, let's do it again. We got this candle right here. So yeah, I just kind of crossed it out. That candle right there. No, that's a bad one. That's a bad drawing too. Do it again. Sorry guys. Uh, just I'm just gonna exit. There we go. That candle right there. So at 6:30, we had that candle right. So basically, um, so now we have a bearish movement going down. Go back to the news. Dubai plans new port to bypass Strait of Hormuz. Financial Times. So we got our bearish. Uh-huh. Okay. So if that's our bullish, it's gonna be our bearish. All right. So it hits the volume profile. No, what? What happened to my volume profile? Okay, it got bumped down. So it changed from a buy, which was going up. Now the volume changed a little bit, so it got forced down to the new volume, which is going to be a buy, a sell volume. Now we'll see more sells right now, or are we? No, not that we're seeing more sells. We're just seeing that there's an accumulation on sales. But the thing is, you gotta be mindful, right? Because we're moving in waves, and I think it's trying to get back to the 753. So yeah, I'm very reluctant right now to do anything because we're just hanging around. I think a lot of people are reluctant right now. That's probably it. It's not a normal day. There we go. We got another push to go up. It's trying to, but it will break that 752 line. Let me see. clear these out. Let's look for the all right, let's see how much this costs. So we're at 752, 753. All right, let's let's short the situation from um at 753. See how much it's gonna cost me. Mhm. Mhm. It's gonna cost me about same thing, about 57 dollars. Well, that's the collateral I need to. That's the money I gotta put up to to um to earn $43. Yep, we're continually crashing, guys. I can see the VIX continually going up. Oh, it went back down there, so we got a little pump. That's a rapper's name, Little Pump. Any more news? Yeah, so I mean, it pushed away from the EMA line and stayed below the SMA line. I can't believe people trade. This is a rally I'm not sure if you want to get into. It's like, I think people still do it, you know what I mean? Because they have some sort of addiction, But for me, I'm looking at the situation like, why would I want to go sideways? You know what I mean? Because staying within one um, point, a $1 value, doesn't make me any money at all, right? So imagine if you're investing, right? You're investing like a lot of money into this for a for a 1 unit change, right? You will have to multiply your contracts by a lot, right? That's a lot of risk. That's what people don't understand. But once you're in the money, you're pretty much losing that on time decay. You know what I mean? So if it doesn't change on you, yeah, you're pretty much losing it on time decay. Just to slightly gain, that's too much of a gamble. It's better to get into you know, a bullish situation, right? Where you get out of the money quick and then you get all your return. That's if you can get it in an entry. Yeah, so it's accumulating right there in the 752 range, 753 range. Oh yeah, I was gonna see. So 273, see how much. Yeah, 752 range. Yeah, it's not. It's not giving me my. It's very slow too. It's very slow too. It is bearish though. Let's see. Oh, yep, yep. See that dip? Massive dip. That was a good. That's a good spot. Yeah, I would definitely take the bearish situation right now. So bearish situation, and yeah, it wouldn't let me get in. Let me see. But it's still gonna hang around 52. So I don't know. Best bet was to get it at 753. I mean, this might be a good opportunity. I'm gonna do bearish. I'm gonna do bearish, guys. Get in. Yeah. It's like I said, you're gonna play a one unit move. It did go below the EMA though. Yeah, we're doing it. So it's just below. Uh, I doubt it's gonna go above. Below. Good. See if we get some good discounted price. It is pumping though. So 624. So it took that dip, right? 16. Then the VIX went back to 1624. So it's pumping back up. It took a point 10 dip. So oh no, I was gonna make a wrong move. Yeah, we go for bullish. We can. I mean, bearish. We definitely can make some money. That's the buy signal right there. That's the news. Marcus said, I don't give a damn. We going for the upper trend. Dang, that would have been good though. Dang, that's a massive pump. Yep, yep. 16. Oh, we got a good buy signal. So we said in the beginning, guys, it was a buy signal. Always trust your instincts, which I have. not been doing really well with. But I mean, I think the strong point is still 754. So we see a crash at 754, then we might as well see how it's gonna be overbought real quick in the 1 minute. 15 minutes and see. Yep, it's gonna be it's gonna be up there overbought. But you look at the VIX, right? It's super low, so we're watching a rally, but it's like a bearish bull type of rally. It's probably gonna hang at around 753 for a long time. So and then 754, 755 is gonna be a strong point. It's probably just trying to do this right. But the problem with this right here, it was trying to like go back to the 755 range, right? Which is um which was yesterday's high, right? 755, 756. Then it's just trying to follow the same trend. If you look at our drawing here, right? See this drawing right here we had this converging um, wedge started to go up, right? I mean, technically, it wedged itself all the way to a point here, and usually a descending wedge will give you a quote unquote this kind of drop off right here. So usually an ascending wedge. So let's say this is an ascending wedge, right? You go to Google and you type in an image of an ascending wedge, right? So overnight it kept going that direction. So if I were to draw this ascending wedge to go that direction, right? See, that's a tough look. It didn't drop it for me the other day on Friday, which is kind of disappointing. Yeah, if I were to Yeah, it would be very tough for me to buy in. See, we have a bearish. So even though it's going up, towards even though it's going up towards a kind of like along the SMA, right? It has this, very slow moving upward movement, right? It still wants to follow that trend to go up to the higher high. Yeah, see how it's trying to go up to the higher high, right? But the problem is we have the geopolitical stuff going on, right? So so it's gonna give it that bearish movement. we have this rally, right? It's kind of sideways. Even though initially our this is like will be our buy signal right here, right? Because it's a 30-minute candle, and then all of the sweep that was down here from the futures, right, or pre-market or whatever, right, gave us this push right here because this push right here to go bullish, right, and it's trying to keep the same momentum, right. But then with the negative news, you got this all of this issue right here, right? Like, ain't no one trying to play that, right? But then, but then, people still trying to get everything at a good price because they, if they're holding it long term, this will be a good price. You know what I mean? That's all you're seeing all this right here, the buys. But it was just gonna rally back and forth by what they want to play that. So now it's gonna go below. You guys don't. It's well, kind of staying around that line, 752, right? And then you got the EMA right there too. So that's where you rally. So this like kind of sideways movement. You know what I mean? So when it's a rally like this, right? Even though it's still kind of going up, it's bearish. You know what I mean? You can't call anything else. It's bearish. So for a long time, everything's very bearish, right? Even though you see the slight movement, right? Our VIX is like literally at 16. It was like 16, 15 yesterday, right? Very slow moving. Even now, it was at 20. Let's say overnight it pumped, and the VIX started off at 20, right? But then they started going lower and lower and lower, right? So it goes from 20 to like 18 to 16. Then you would say that's a bullish, uh, bullish bear, right? It's crashing. It's like literally crashing. You know what I mean? Right now, it's just like stuck sideways. It was a sell signal. Yeah, we had a sell signal. Now we're gonna get a buy signal pretty soon. Yeah, and then yeah, it went below it. You know what I mean? We'll probably get a good buy signal again pretty soon. It's gonna go back and forth, back and forth. Right, there you go. You can't make money on that. You know what I mean? Like what, a dollar? You cut in every dollar. You know what I mean? You be all day. No, no buy signal yet. There you go. Sorry guys, I woke up kind of early. That's our buy signal right there. A little bit more. A little bit more. Yeah. I can't see anyone going in right now. It's dangerous. This is danger zone. Welcome to the danger zone. We got a quick buy signal. This was our buy signal right here, and it'll probably go up again towards wherever we. Was it the one we yeah, probably go towards again. 753. I mean, if you're going based on the headlines, this is how we used to do it back in the days. We would be like, "Oh, war bad, by contract." You know, what I mean, let's short it. That's it. It was simple. You just wait till your contract, you know, term ends. Let's look at the price of gold, though. See if it went up because of the war. Gold prices. Ooh, gold price took a dip too. You would think, you know, oh, we had we got beef with Iran, right? Gold price would go up. Yeah, down $66. I know a few people holding bags right now with gold. said, we're gonna make $50, guys. Market price $50. Alright, that's for this. This is a short position for 50, 52 or 53. Short at 53, but it's a hold game, a holding on to a game though. I mean, to the end of the day, it's the best contract you got, guys. You will make around $52. You buy that right now. Dang, look at that drop. Yeah, 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 yeah. And it's not giving you a good price on that drop. 51. You would have had it. You would have had it. The price went down to 20 cents. Yep, you would have had it. Hey, we should have bought it right then and there. Dang, that's crazy. Dang, that would have been a good price. Sheesh. Dang, we would have had that money, guys. I don't got no more buying power at that point. You know, I'm gonna watch it crawl all the way back up. Would have had 20 bucks real fast right there. Yeah, so it did make the move. Okay, so let's work on math. Let's go back to this is the 1 minute chart, right? Let's go do our 15-minute chart. Dang, we're not okay. Yeah, we got some minutes already. Do 5 minute chart. I just don't want to see this that thing. Dang, dude, it's not good either. It's not a good look. Okay, so we'll do a line graph. Let's do a line graph chart. Bars, candles, bars. Is it bars? What are bars? Line's not good either. 33. What's the price at? One, two, 90. We're at six, 1637. No big. 29. I mean, yeah, nah, that's not good. Yeah. So, it's trying to do this buy thing. try to short it again. We'll try to short it again. Okay, let's go change back the candle type. I don't like this line. Yeah, see, it has things trying to go back to 752. That's gonna be your line. All right, let's clear this one out. Let's go. We'll change it from. Your best price right now is goes below 751 on a short situation, and then you'll see that it's gonna give you the best price, almost at $60. No, 56 dollars in if by the end of the day if it goes below 51, you'll make your $56 in money. I mean, there's no confirmation though. There's just like one random drop. Let me see. Let me see. That's a pretty good confirmation. Let's go 1 minute candle. Come on, man. There we go. 1 minute candle. Yeah, that's your confirmation right there. Let's see. Yeah, there's no confirmation. Oh, yeah, there, dip, turn right back up. Well, it did the same thing last time, right? You had the bullish, bullish, bullish. So like last time it did this, I show you. You had this weird bullish thing going on, right? Had this weird bullish thing going on, right? And then I was telling you about that wedge. So you got this bullish thing going on right here. Boom, right? So yeah, on Friday this is what happened. And then you had a bottom like wedge situation going on, right? So basically it wedges itself towards against this price line the whole way up, right? And then by the end of the day it went over the price line and it made a, it made us look like a fool. Yeah, so it did this wedge, right? So basically it just kind of like rallied on the price line. So it wedged itself on the price line. See that? So technically, your buy signal that was right here in the beginning at 6:30 kind of just presents itself as the the, the trend to follow for the whole day. Even though it keeps crashing, it keeps running it up, right? So but the thing is, the unit value is too close to each other. That's where you have your issue. So earlier went back to where it was, right? And now if we were to go back into our sell situation or short situation before, we're gonna get the same, closer to the same price, which was $50. So we got two bullish sentiment going on right now. We got this one and this one, right? Strong indicators. Even though we have this thing right here, which is our kind of like to show whether or not we're, our daily profit loss type of thingy right here, right? We're down $2 or whatnot for the day, right? Now it's gonna crash again, or maybe hanging around at 752. So whoever made that dump, right? What happens is that dump creates that, and we saw this on Friday, right? If you want to understand the market better, that dump created the situation where if you go to, and I noticed this, right? You go to the higher time frame, right? Our relative strength index doesn't become overbought anymore. You know what I mean? So it's almost like it's giving it a new like uh bullish sentiment. You know what I mean? Even though it's a rally bull, right? So like a bearish bull, it's still moving up, right? And our daily gains is low. But what it does is it keeps the VIX very low. You know what I mean? So when the VIX is low, pretty much it's just gonna scatter its way to the top, right? So it's however you want to play it. You know what I mean? Now, if you're a swing trader, you you don't want to play the daily swing. You want to play like a weekly swing, right? Now you got to be good. Okay, I'm gonna swing for the week, right? Now it's up to a geopolitical thing for the week. You know what I mean? Which is, well, geopolitical slash whatever the reporting is gonna be, right? So what was the news on? What type of reporting? So our news, Trump. Okay, this is okay, Trump regulators seek to discourage loans to undocumented immigrants. I don't know what that's gonna do to the market, but um, we're supposed to look into Saratoga, ExxonMobil, Levi Strauss. Okay, I think those are earnings. Um, so oil demand lowers, lowers from 970K to 780K per day, barrels per day. Or we're supposed to look at bank earnings, you know. So yeah, I mean it could be a setup, you know what I mean. So like let's say the upper ups already know what the earnings are like already. So they probably have a better understanding of what the money situation is with the bank, right? It could be a setup for them to just say, "Hey, look, you know what I mean? Let's 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 make it bare, right?" But then if the earnings pump. You know what I mean? Or let's say it's gonna, bearish. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna just tank, right? Or they got the heads up on the short position. You know what I mean? Everything's already designed, and we're the last one, right? Retail market. That's why it's scary to be a retail investor right now because we don't have insights. You know what I mean? All we got is our charts, right? And we don't write up these contracts. We don't. We just enter. I mean, and then we hang on to the contract. Yeah. I mean, a good situation would have been, I can't even say. But technically, if you look at the EMA on the 15-minute chart, right, you have the EMA slightly moving upward, right? Slightly moving upward. So even from yesterday, right? And it's not looking to reverse, even though the SMA wanted to reverse. You know what I mean? Unless something tanks it, then it forces a reversal. It was probably gonna keep going back up, rally to like 756, 760, which is all time high. See this? So if we were to take this right now, if I really want to get into this right now, I probably will. It will only cost me $30. So I filled it. It's a short position, right? And I filled it, and hoping it would crash down. Yeah. So it cost. I mean, it's not costing me. It's holding my 28 or 74. So it's $26, right? So that's how much it cost me, right? I just gotta wait for it to crash all the way down to whatever. You know what I mean? Like even like 751, I'll make like $30, right? So right now I'm up 2%, $2, right? And this is a short position. So I got in at a random, you know what I mean? Just because, for me it was $26, right? So that's a very cheap contract. That's a super discount, right? And I'm looking at the range, right? And I'm looking at this all these negative news. I'm just like, you know what? I'll just play the negative news. If they're gonna have me go that direction, right? And did I have to look at anything special? No, right? My determination is a lot of bad news, right? Even though I just set everything up to go to bullish movement, what I do, right? I wait for it to go hit the EMA, and then I eject myself. You know what I mean? So I'll probably make like good $10 or something like that. At 24, let's go. Just wait for it to go to um 64 or something, right? Maybe it'll even crash on me, bro. Like that's $10 right there. You know what I mean? It's almost there already. It's literally at 67 right now. You know. So 66, 65. See, I'm literally almost at my $10 profit. 64, 63. Now let's keep riding it. 65. Let's see what kind of percentage we're gaining. That's my $9 right there. See, this is how like I know literally I know every dollar value that's coming into me. You know what I mean? That's why when I like talk about it and stuff, I'm counting the numbers, straight up like in my head, like okay, this is how much I'm making. You know what I mean? There's no guessing game, right? That's why like to me, I don't see it as luck. Like some people will say, "Oh, you're lucky, right?" Nah, I'm not, dude. I'm counting every number to you, right? $9, $10, right? If I would, like, how was I able to do that, right? That's how much I'm gonna make, $9, $10, right? You know what I mean? Like literally, I just showed you how I was gonna make $10. You know what I mean? And time decay, right? Time decay is gonna give you that money if you know, end of the day, but it doesn't matter. I need it to crash to like 50, 50. If I get 50, I get most of my money, $10, right? Right? This is a good buy signal right here. The buy signal was let me see. I mean, we might not even have a buy signal yet. Oh, we're on the 50 minutes. Let's go buy signal on the other minute, right? And this is like that's why I'm so comfortable just hanging on to my contract, right? People will be tripping out right now. Like, even when the market crash, I'm like, whatever, you know what I mean? What am I gonna lose? Like $50? You know what I mean? I'm not losing thousands of dollars. People losing thousands of dollars on this stuff, right? It's because it's gambling. $12. Okay, it's gonna dip below $13, $14. I'm already at 20% already. And normally people dip out 14%. I mean 20%, right? I could actually dip out right now if I wanted to, but it's still going down for me. So yeah, let's submit to close. 60, 61. So I'm at like 14, $15 right now. $14 right now. 60 at 60, I'm at $14. See, keep going. All right, let's submit at 60. See what happens. Do we get it? Ah, get it. Boom. Got my $14. Did 12% for the day. I mean, 20%, right? Whatever, you know. I mean, I could hang full day. I would have my $70, but it would have to go below though, because my it was discounted, but it was only discounted for. So like time decay right now, right? So since my data, which is the Greek symbol for the time decay, right? My data was really high right now, so or delta or whatever. I'm not sure which one is which, delta or data. It's really high, right? So when it's high, when they do the math for it, right? I get the majority of my gains on per movement multiplied by the high Greek symbol or high um value of the variance or the variable, which is theta or delta. I can't remember which one is which, but you know what I mean. I wasn't gonna wait for it to just go 751. I mean 750, right, and stay below 750, right, all day just to make $70. Why? Why would I do that, right? Because it could change on me at any time. I don't want that, right? So am I happy with $15 or $14? Yeah, I'm happy with $14, right? That's $14 I made. The thing is, you know what I mean? Like, see, that's the thing, right? You find a way to make money on this. Like, you're creating money. You're creating money. Like people, if they understand it, they can create money, right? This is what I call printing, right? It's like going to work, right? If I were to go to work, how do I print that money, right? I would actually have to perform the task that they want me to perform, you know. So I was able to buy in right there, and I was able to pull out right there, my 20%. And do like, did I have a stop loss? I can't, right? Because these contracts don't allow me to do stop loss. Maybe it's just Robinhood. So you know what I mean. They can only give me um, limit close a set limit to close, right? So the weird thing about set limit to close is if you feed it a high amount to pay them, they'll take it, right? Which is dumb because that's my stop loss. You feel me? So they're gonna take it from me, right, at my loss, right? So let's say I'm like, oh, I'm willing to take it at a low price, right? Well, that's my loss, right? You know what I mean? probably would have got 20 bucks. No, not wouldn't. It probably would have just hung at 15, 15, 15. It would go to like 750, 750, probably 20 bucks. But then it was like doing rallying and stuff, right? I mean, I'm running the risk of just like pulling out 20%. Not bad, you know, because you have to wait for the whole day for time decay, right? Now if it crashes all the way down to like 744, right? Then I'm like, dang, dude, I could have had majority of the money, right? Like at least 40 bucks. But this is where I was talking about, like, I can grow my account, right? Even if I deposit like money here and there just to get in, right? A deposit, like usually I have buy power, and then I need like a little bit of money to get into a position, right? Um, so I can do that, and then at the same time I can buy equity, right? While I'm doing that, you know what I mean? Then it decides to pump back up, right? So you guys want to play this game, you wait for it to go all the way back up to like the EMA, right? And then you get back in for a bearish movement again, you know? And then it's gonna do the exact same thing, right? But today. So you looking at here, right? Remember what it did yesterday, right? It started off like $1 market, green, right? $1. And then it went all the way to $5 about the end of the day. That's a $5, 5 unit change, right? But it took so long to get there, right? You're just like, what? If I just would have just bought it in the beginning, I would have been good. You know what I mean? So technically, it was bearish like this, right? You wait for the go back up, right? And you do the same thing. You buy in the same, probably at the same price, at 51 again, right? So let's say it's go 51, 52, right? See how much it costs, right? And then you already had what it was before already. So that's 61, right? Wait for it to go back to 70. You know what I mean? Maybe it'll go way past below, right? The thing is, the theta is still high, right? If the theta variable goes super low, right? By the end of the day, because it it's time decay, right? I can't remember what it was, theta or delta. I know there used to be a group, what I mean, like trading group called Theta Gang. They used to have on Reddit, you know what I mean? Then you know it might they might be playing the thetas, right? You know what I mean? Like the time decay, you know. But you know, see this is knowledge, right? I'm giving you guys knowledge, and like literally, I'm not getting paid for it, right? And then you go other people, right? They play a scenario where they're just like, oh, like whatever the inner circle, whatever, right? They play the graph, FIWG, right? But no one has any understanding of that stuff. They're just following some sort of pattern that they don't understand, right? Oh, I found it. It's IFG, IFBG, right? I'm just gonna follow that movement, right? But they don't realize, whether or not they have this whole sentiment, you know, thing going on, right? They just think it can go up right now, it can go down right now. No, it can't. Like the whole day has to have a trend, right? You look for the trend for the whole day. Is it bullish or bearish, right? It's bearish for the day, right? You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's, you know what I mean? Like literally, like I don't have the proof to show that I'm a good trader because like my bank account don't show it, right? Because I'm not a wealthy guy. I don't have the cars. You know what I mean? But I do have the knowledge, right? And the problem is that the guys that that might was able to lock in whenever that time was their time frame where they made a lot of money. You know, I can't rationally say that they made it based on skills, right? Because there's so many opportunities and so much luck that goes into this, right? You know what I mean? Just like what I did today, right? Like that one movement was so hard for me to do, right? Like I had to pull the trigger on it, and even though I was confident with what I did, it was still to me 50-50 at that moment in time. You know, look at this. See, time decay killed it already, right? Time decay. Actually, you know what? Hold on, give me a second. I don't think it moved that much, but did it dip? It might have dipped. It might have dipped. 'Cause it used to be 66. Yeah, so it dipped. Dipped. Would have got in right there, 752. I would have got the $66. So go back up. See, but then that very small change is not worth it for me. You know what I mean? It's scary. I have to go back all the way back to. So it's going up and down. It's going up and down right there at 750, around 752, right? So that's that wedge sentiment. You know what I mean? So, but the EMA is very strong though, right? So basically, on the 1 minute candle, it has some sort of like resistance at the EMA, and the SMA has a like this downward movement to where it doesn't want to participate. If I take it in right here, I mean my thing would be $42, my risk. So look at the image. So Trump wants Lindsey Graham's sister to serve as, I guess, proxy senator for South Carolina. Take the place of he called it interim senator. Take the place of Lindsey Graham. Let's see. Yeah, we got 59, 61. Okay, you got your buy signal again on that one right there. That one's a buy signal. This one right here is your buy signal. Let's beat the last two. Let's see if I'm right. Yep, that's your buy signal. But it's a very short buy signal. So I don't know. I wouldn't play it. But it did push my thing though. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to 70. If it goes back up here, it's gonna go back to 70. But why would you want to get in if you don't have a cell signal, right? And that's the thing. You're playing based off of headlines. But it's so discounted though. Like I would take it, right? It's so discounted. This would be like a $30 thing for me. $34. Wait till it go $20 again. See, but why though? Why would you want to play something like that? I will only play it because it's only gonna cost me $20, right? Just to hold on a position where I know the news is bad. So you got this wedge right here. It's going up, right? But then you have the bearish in it. But that's why I talk about bearish bull all the time. Bearish bull, right? So so for me, if I'm right or wrong, I'm only 50%, and I'm 50% off of losing $20. That's, you know what I mean? I can do that all day long, right? 50% to make $70. Come on, dude, that's crazy. Like, why wouldn't you? You know? So yeah, everything is math, right? So if you do the math, like for me, it's math. It's math, right? It's math in a way where like my risk factor for losing money and gaining money has has it's different, right? So if I'm losing 20 to gain, that's my stop loss right there. You know what I mean? I'm losing 20. So what? I can have the whole thing expire and I lost $20, right? Versus someone else playing contract and they're losing thousands of dollars on margins that they don't have for this $30, right? But it's so bearish though. Look how bearish it is, right? Look how sideways it is, right? It's 50-50, bro. Straight up. What? Is it gonna go against this line? Is it gonna go against this line? You know what I mean? It's already trying to force itself above the EMA, right? Which is 20-day moving average. Okay, it went above it. I'm talking smack right now. But hey, guess what, right? It put me back at $20 range, right? The whole time it had an issue going. Okay, let's look at the research. Maybe new headlines did something. California Governor Newsom signed legislation to offer $3,500 on blah blah blah. Right? 74. I'm gonna buy in 74. Did it feel? Yeah, it felt. It felt all day long, right? So I just wait for it to crash. Hold and make some money. Talk all that smack. I'm talking all the smack. Or -1. You know. But it does, it does take a toll though. Like, 'cause every $20 add up, right? But thing is, I can cut out anytime I want, so I'm gonna save like $10. Well, if I cut it out before the end of the day, because the end of the day is tough. We just need to go back to 751. So, so it has this line just shows it's bullish, right? But it's been bullish for what? Like, if you count the minutes, this is 1 minute candle. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Not even 15 minutes, right? So there's another 15 minutes going this way. So we get 15 minutes, a whole 15 minutes going this way, and comes back down to here, or maybe even 51 down here, right? Then I should get like my $15 or whatnot again, right? So I'm up $30 for a day. But if it goes down to here and even lower, guess what? $70. But let's just say I hang on to it, right? I'll just hang on to it since we were bearish up here the whole day, right? Let's see what happens. You know what I mean? I bet you anything. Well, I don't know. I'll lose $20. Hey, look, I'm up again. $2. When I do everything opposite you say. Cha-ching. Whatever, whatever, guys. $3. So I was really scared to play over here, right? I didn't know. You know what I mean? It didn't reveal itself, right? Yet. I was scared to play over here. I was scared to play over here. I was scared to play over here. I was. I mean, I got comfortable to play over here, and the only reason why was my risk factor was super low, right? Risk factor. That's the thing, right? You understand risk factor, right? It was risk factor super low, anyways. Why not? What do you do with $20? Oh, I'll go to eat lunch. That's a good meal right there. $20 nowadays. Shoot, that's like a that's like a that's like a combo. That's like a combo Chinese food restaurant, dude. Dang, dude. Now I was gonna say about the 52 line. That's scary, bro. Uh, did it go below the EMA again? Yeah. No, it's touching the EMA. Let me see. Let me turn off my grid. Done. I'll remove my grid. I'll remove marking. Oh, oh, hi. There we go. EMA. Yeah, it went below EMA. See, that's a good sign, right? $8. 18% for the day. I'm already at 18% for the day. $6.7. trying to stay above the SMA line. You know, see, if I were to try to hang on it with it the whole day, right? That's why it's good to know your price lines because, like, if you say that it's never gonna go below a price or this price line is really long, and guess what, right? Then you have a good idea not to just wait until it gets a price line and go below that, right? Because it's unrealistic, right? And that's the difference. Someone who understands the value of like strength in whatever. See how it just hits this and it starts going back up, right? Because it's following this bullish trend and it's trying to pursue something, right? Let's see. Let's watch it. See, watch it what it does when it hits the EMA, right? Does it want to reject it? Because if it wants to reject it, and the intersection is that line, right? This wedge right here, right? If that's the intersection, see that? See it moved. So when it moved, the whole time it wouldn't even pass the price line with the intersection with the EMA, right? So it has a very strong um, sentiment right there. Very strong thing going on right there. Too many intersections. So when it goes down, so if this has a bearish sentiment the whole way through this way, right? It's going. I should make it an arrow. Just delete that. Change it to an arrow. Right. So array. So if it has a sentiment going down this way, where's my arrow? What the heck? All right. Let's delete that one. I didn't like that one. So let's just say arrow, arrow, ray, trend line, vertical line, horizontal line, info line. Doesn't have an arrow. Okay, maybe this one has an arrow. Shape. Hey, even though it crashed below the line, so don't be fooled, right? So it went below this line, right? Well, yeah. The sucky thing is this thing doesn't really move with it, so you know what I mean, like, and so it doesn't give you that accurate, oh, it's staying above the line, right? You have to move this. So when it goes back up, right, then you have your new generally where this line should be. I'm looking for an arrow, guys. Arrow. I guess it's not an arrow. I thought array was the one with an arrow. Horizontal line, horizontal. Oh, ray just means it goes all the way, like from one, like this infinity, like it just goes straight through the whole string. That's two trend line. So let's say it has the sentiment. Oh, it has the sentiment, right? So going from here to here, right? And it has this downward movement going on, right? And let's say, we're waiting for this to go all the way down here somewhere. We're waiting for this to go all the way down this direction, right? Still waiting for this to go down. I'm trying to draw an arrow. Ah, okay, that's our arrow. All right, right. Let's say we're waiting for that to go down that direction, right? Then, ooh, I'm at $10. All right, cool. Right, because it's bearish, right, for today, quote unquote, bearish for today, right? But the thing is, my value, if you look at where I have it at, right, my contract, right, 51, right. I would have to wait for it to crash all the way below 51 to get all my money, anyways. So for me, because if I can't get below 51, my my profit value is gonna get lower and lower and lower too, right? And that's why, like, I gotta cut it out as soon as I make my percentage, right? So if I'm looking for 20% again, that's another $15, right? And granted, this time, yeah, it's probably the same price. Like if it goes like 51 something, right? Then I'll probably get my 10%. Let's move this up a little bit. I'm giving you guys the sauce, bro. Straight up, this is sauce. You know what I mean? This is literally how I make money. 20% on the day. See that? This is my portfolio, right? Basically like $20. I started off like you saw in the beginning when this thing showed itself. The the hidden icon was supposed to be, yeah. It got reset. So yeah, but $9, $10, $11, right? There you go, 13%, 22%. For my overall 14%. Yeah, but see, people don't like to make money like this, right? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm literally giving you guys the sauce how to be calm. Like literally, this is how you become calm, a calmer trader. You know, I'm already at what 17% again. Take out another $14 if I wanted to, but I'm gonna try to go for $20, guys. We'll see what happens. 16%, not bad. Yeah, so it's staying around 752. I don't know why my price line is not okay. Yeah, it is around. So my price line is like 7254, 72. Yeah, 7253. So I mean, it's around there. It's just that when you zoom in, like you're not gonna get the exact, but that's where it's kind of hanging around. If you zoom out, you'll see it. It's just hanging around 52. Let's go to a one, 1 hour. No, well, zoom out this way. Well, zoom out to 3 months, 1 month. That's probably not good either. Yeah, if you zoom out, if you zoom out like that, right? Like, dang, dude, it's really just hanging around that 752 area. And then there's so many dimensions, what I mean? It's on my little, yeah. See how it's just hanging around that area right there. Boom, boom, boom. But this is like a whole $10 value right here. 10 points range, $10 range. That's why I call it bearish, right? Because it's a rally. It's a rally. It doesn't know whether it goes up or down. You know what I mean? If you want to talk about bulls, when you zoom out, right? This be a bull right here. Boom. Like this right here. Boom, boom. This whole thing right here, from here to here, like a month. No, not even a month. This, yeah, the whole week last week. Pretty strong bull. But the problem is, it was just moving so slow just to get up there. I mean, some of those days were bullish. I might have called it bearish. Don't listen to me, guys. Don't listen to me. I mean, I think I set myself up to be bearish in some of those days, but I'm just reflecting on like the day to day news and stuff. You know what I mean? I'm just like, dang man, like it, things don't sound good. You know what I mean? Like yeah, it's like eating stuff. Like stuff just doesn't taste good anymore. You know what I mean? Stuff just doesn't taste good anymore. Let's look at the news. Interesting though, right? He did. They did ask him like who's gonna take Lindsey Graham's place, Trump, and then he said, "Oh, person's a really good person, and they're gonna do really well, right?" You think about it, right? Like you're gonna put someone's sister that's supposed to be grieving. Something's not adding up. You feel me? It's like, dude, like you know, I could like a whole different family member, maybe. You feel me? Like maybe even the same relative, but like not the sister. Conspiracy theories. But check it out. Get my $8. Stick with your thesis. I think someone's whole Instagram is like, stick with your thesis. There's a trader. Don't get scared. Stick with your thesis. Even though the market is not going your way, stick with the thesis. No, but then the person say like, you already got your stop loss, you already got your profit, you can take profit or ATP, right? Why not just stick with it? Why cut early, right? Because the stop loss is gonna stop you anyways. Thing is, people don't want to even lose, don't want to even lose their risk. You know, I might lose my risk. Yeah, 20% of like 1,000. That's crazy. What's 20% of 1,000? 200 bucks. That's people's risk, right? How much you willing to lose? So 20%, right? 20% is like what? 15 seconds. Crazy. Hold on to the price. Let's see. Let's see the EMA. How strong the EMA is. Oh, okay, okay. Let's look at our setup again real quick. Let's change this thing right here. Make our wedge over here this way. That's what I did the other day. I'm just gonna wait here, wait for it to do what I wanted to do. But again, like I said, right, if we were to follow this right here, the 15, what you call it, this first buy signal, right, on the third, the, 6:30, right, was a signal the whole day's trend. I mean, that's what it's trying to do, but the problem is the news is so bad, right? It it can't do it, right? It's still trying to. That's why you have this rally at 52. You got this negative thing going on the whole time, you know. But it's trying to though, right? So guess what? Tomorrow, a slight chance of a good news tomorrow. Like no one says anything, right? Let's say no one says anything. He's either gonna keep the same sentiment because no one said anything, waiting for someone to say something or do something, right? Or maybe even some sort of report, or they're just gonna, you know, they're just gonna let once the market comes back and it's like, okay, nothing's really going on, right? And we're gonna have the bullish again, right? You know. See, like, okay, so when it's a boring day like this is when I make the money, right? So like when I'm getting excited for no reason, right? Because I'm just like, dude, I can't get in, I can't get in, I can't get in. It's too weird right now, right? Like it's like I can't tell what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, but usually everyone else is getting in, and they're making all the money, right? I'm just like, how come I'm not making money? Right now, I bet you no one's like really doing anything. They're just like, I'm not getting in, man. This is weird, dude. I can't tell what this is, right? I'm the opposite. You know what I mean? I got this weird uh, inverse value gap in my head. Crazy. Take the $10 or what? You know what I mean? For me, I'm like, take the $10 right now. Yeah, it's not going below that thing, man. Why don't you go to 51? Just go to 50. Just 750, bro. You got $20 real quick. I cut it out really exactly at 20. But see, I do have my error rate going down because, well, it's not a good idea. Let's see, this is kind of weird. Why am I doing that? I have to move everything over. Actually, move this. Another arrow. Like a 5 minute candle. Bruh, come on, man. That's why I didn't pull out. Let's see what it does. I went about the SMA. See, my wedge, right? So we'll just make my wedge a part of that, a part of the new line that it has to cross. It didn't cross my wedge, but that's where the EMA is. I have to change my wedge position. Thing is, the wedge doesn't really move with the thing, right? So I mean, that's a good spot for it, since unless it starts doing reversal, then the wedge stays permanently right there. Like, that's where it can't cross at all. You know what I mean? Because that's a strong line right there, guys. $10. $10 or what? Just give me 15. Shoot. Okay, that's a new buy signal. Pretty sure that's a new buy signal. Yep, that's a new buy signal. All right, so you got a strong buy signal, and then sell signal, I'm talking about the red one, right? Because literally the candle is bigger than the one before, right? So we're just hoping that the next one follows suit, and usually, well, it's try to test the whatever lines those are, right? All those lines are gonna test, right? It was strong enough, right? Plus the sell signal, it should go below that sell signal to keep on trending downward. But see, it's not even strong enough that the sell signal is not even strong enough. But there's no new buy signal yet, so we're still in the sell signal area. Whoa! It gave it a buy signal right there. That's insane. I guess that. I guess what like it gave it a percentage mark. Like okay, if it's over a certain percentage in volume, then just give it a signal to buy. Strange, dude. Took out a lot of my profit. Okay, you still got the 52 range, strong resistance. Let's see if it's trying to pass the EMA. Still within the EMA. Alright, let's do a new wedge. So since the wedge moved on us, guys, since we have a buy signal, we're just gonna change the wedge situation. I will change it right here. Yeah. So now it has to test. It has to test the wedge now, and then it also has to test the SMA. And it has to test the EMA, and it has to test the price line. But apparently, it's trying to go past the EMA. Getting kind of worried, guys. Kind of worried. Should I pull out? Remember, in the beginning of it all, right? We had this one right here. We had that thing right there, the buy signal, right? And that's what it's trying to do. It's trying to tell everyone to buy. But we also had the daily what do you call it, profit loss, which is two. So we're at -2 for the day. Well, since yesterday, anyways. Well, since pre-market, right? We were below the pre-market line. Okay, so it rejected everything, right? Which is good because now we have $10 again, and it's hovering above 52. Ooh, this is where we see it. Do we see it? Yes. Let's go at $13 now. Okay, so now our price lines, it's a pretty strong price line. And so if we're comfortable with that, then we're just gonna see what it does. But mind you, my contract is, you know, it's in the money, but it's in the money to go down below 51. So I'm a whole dollar value that I need to work towards. But if I pull out early, I get to make like around $10 to $20. If I wait, I might not even make any because I'm in the money. It's not a good thing because I'm in the money. You know what I mean? I need to get out of the money. The only thing we get to do is make ourselves feel better. Can big banks' cheap stocks keep rising? We'll find out when J.P. Morgan and an unusual number of other report earnings on Tuesday. So for the week, right? So bank earnings are on Tuesday. Critical 4 hours ahead. Korea and Iran drive selling in U.S. market. Right. The news is saying that they're, like Korea and Iran is driving the selling market. Right. So Iran could be the war. Korea could be like selling off stocks ahead of time based on the situation in Iran, probably. Right. So I don't know. I'm just making an assumption because I didn't read it. Let me go read it. I just read the headline. Okay, let's see. Semiconductors are leading sectors that have been driving the stock market higher. SOXL in the Momo crowd favorite semiconductor ETF. Okay. Um, the chart shows on Friday as the manager rally and closed at the top band of the zone. Chart shows early trade today as well falling back into the middle of the zone of zone two. The more was driven by price action in South Korea's stock market. Yeah, so they were selling off today in Korea of semiconductors. South Korean stock market has been leading the U.S. stock market. This is a reversal from the historical pattern of the South Korean stock market following the U.S. stock market. The reason for the South Korea stock market leading is the two of the larger memory factor, fact, factorers, SK Hynix Inc., um, which is um, ADR. I don't know what that is. Oh, okay, that's part of the name, right? Which is the ticker symbol is SKHY, and Samsung Electronics Co., which is on the OTCPK. So that's the what's that? OTCPK. It's the penny stock. SSNFLF are in South Korea. Are in South Korea. Oh, I guess I don't know. Overnight, the U.S. The South Korean S KOSPI index fell 9%. This is the largest one-day loss since SK Hynix listed on South Korean exchange in 1996. Samsung fell more and 10%. So yeah, I guess so. SKH Hynix fell more than 50% overnight, which is last night. And then and the last time it did that was in 1996. In our analysis, the trigger for selling in the South Korean market is that investors were buying ahead of the SK Hynix listing in, in the U.S. SKHY started trading in the U.S. on Friday. The sell-off is a classic sell the news at reaction. In the earlier trade, the carryover from South Korea to hitting stocks of Micron Technology. So sell the news. Okay, sell the news. So what's the news? On the positive side, Taiwan Semiconductor TSM reported June revenue rose 68% year over year. However, the revenue rose only 6.2 sequentially. STM is important because TSM manufactures advanced chip for the likes of Nvidia, Apple, and blah, blah, blah. Over the weekend, the U.S. hit Iran very hard. Right? Okay, that's what happened. U.S. hit Iran very hard. Um, for firing on a ship in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran retaliated by firing U.S. bases in the region. This morning were the significant confusion regarding the status of the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has declared the Strait of Hormuz closed. The U.S. is saying that the Strait of Hormuz is open. From our source, there is hardly any traffic in the Strait of Hormuz as of this writing. Okay, I mean it's open in the sense that the U.S. says, "Hey, you're free to come in. We got your back." In our analysis, oil is rising a relatively small amount compared to what the weekend event warrant. So oil is rising a relatively small amount compared to what the weekend events warrant. So in the weekend they wanted to rise even more, but the reason there's long history of U.S. administration coming out with positive statement regarding Iran every time oil starts going higher or the stock market starts going lower, the professional traders are expecting a positive statement from administration and hope in containing the stock market drop and oil drop and oil's rise. They want oil to rise, but they want the stock market to drop. Tomorrow, for four critical hours are ahead. During the span of 4 hours, the stock market will have to confront the following. The first set of earnings from the banks. That could be an issue too, right? Everyone's dropping the stock before the bank earnings come in. Looking at 15 again. Should I sell? That's a good $30, guys. Let's see. Let's see what it does. 16, 20. What did I buy it at? Okay, so 15 right now. 16, 17, 8, 17 right there. 18. I'll take it. Yep, it filled it. Yo, guys, 25% for the day. I made about $30 right now. See what I get back in. So, Fed Chair Warsh is scheduled to testify before the House Financial Service Committee tomorrow at 10 a.m. ET and before the Senate Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs Committee on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, guys. So essentially, that's right there. That's the money. That's the money maker, guys. We can do this the whole day. It's only not even 9 o'clock yet, right? So let's say I made $30 within 2 hours without leaving my house and without doing something I don't like to do. This is what I like to do, right? You just gotta enjoy it. If you can't enjoy this, don't do it. If this is boring to you, don't do it. You know what I mean? Is it boring to me? I can't say. It's not. It's not. You know what I mean? I've been doing it for too long for me to be bored. You know. This. For one, I like to take in the news, right? So all this current event and stuff, you know what I mean, like political, geopolitical. That's why when I came out with I don't know why other people do it. Like when they talk about elections and all these stuff, right? I do it based on the fact that I'm trying to figure out the market and how it affects the market, right? Other people they do it and they but but I have to do it based on my opinion too, right? Like like what political side I take, right? I can be like non-biased, right? But what does that help me with, right? Well, if I'm against Trump, right? How is that gonna benefit me in the market, right? I'm just gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna do everything he says against how he moves, right? I might take the wrong side all the time, right? It's gonna be hard. Like, why would I force myself to go hard against the market? You know what I mean? Like, too much resistance, right? Too much emotion, too much um, roller coasters. You know what I mean? Um, it's it is what it is. You know what I mean? I mean, like you know, but like but like generally uh, when I used to make statements on stuff, right? I'm trying to figure out the truth. You know what I mean? The truth is the stock for me. The truth is the numbers on the stock market, right? So if I can't produce my results, then that's where the money is, right? That's where the truth is. You know what I mean? Like to me, like it's green. You know what I mean? Like so, but and I'm not doing it illegally, right? To me, that's my truth. You know what I mean? Um, now other people can say other things differently. You know what I mean? So right now, it's gonna be hard for me to get in, right? For one, I'm not getting my discounts yet, right? Or two, I don't want to start off out the money because it's not it's high risk, though, right? You know what I mean? Well, I could say, hey, look, I can start at 53, but then if it moves all the way to 53, right, and it never goes below like 52, then I'm minus sitting there on a minus money situation going on the whole time, right? But then it has to move this slow. If it moves fast, right, then I'm screwed. You know what I mean? Because could have had more. Could have at least, yeah, I could have had more. It took about 20 dollars right now. Yeah. So my total was like 35 bucks. Yeah, it keeps on dropping. But like for it to go below 750, that's where like I'm just like I don't want to work. I want to quote unquote chance it, right? But look, but it's doing it. It's doing it. Look at that. It's trying to do it. Yeah. I mean, still technically, yeah, it is trying to do it though. But it has to be like 750 and 99 cents, 750 and 98 cents. You know what I mean? Like, but that would probably would have gave me like 25 bucks right there. Now it's going back up, right? So I'm stuck around 720, and then it's like, let me go back 25 bucks, right? And get all greedy at over $5, right? And then what's the point? What is the point? You know what I mean? People don't wait for the money to go back down from like $1,000, right? And they end up with $200. Like what, bro? You know, greed, man, greed. Take the money. I watch people greed all the time, right? They're just like, I spent $100,000. Why did, why didn't they approve me for my refinance loan? Why didn't they give me more equity? I spent $100,000, bro. You, you didn't follow the right instructions. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, try to teach them the ways of life, man. Especially people around me. You know, like they don't get it. So okay, we're looking at the SMA and the EMA. Um, yeah, yeah. So I mean, on a bearish day, it's never gonna cross those lines. You know what I mean? It's never gonna cross those lines because it's a bearish day. It's like the whole sentiment of today has been bearish. So what I'll do is like, let's say I have money, right? My buying power. I'll go to my stocks trade and I'll find my favorite index, and then like this one's my favorite one. Has a pretty good dividend, right? JEPI, and it's very low, and majority of it is like tech stock too, right? And it's brand new. Literally, is a brand new thing situation. Let's see how old it is. All time. Oh, I guess pretty old. Huh? No, no, that's all time. Go to 5 years. So 2020, 2020. It's been about six years old. All time. Yeah, 2020. Yeah, it's very young, and the stock price is only like $56, but it's an index um for like tech stock, right? Comparable to SPY, and it's like literally giving you like 30 cents every quarter, 39 cents every quarter. You're looking at over like $1, $2 a year, depending on the valuation of the stock, the earning profit to earning ratios. I don't know how they calculate the earnings. I don't know how they calculate the what do you call it, the, the dividends, and I don't know how they do that. But so I'll go and let's say I have an extra $50, right? I'll buy a new share. You know what I mean? Yeah, I only have one share plus one. I'm off 7 cents. I'll probably still buy one. Just so I don't whatever I buy. Did it fill? I got it. I got two share now. Why is it showing you this? It's not supposed to. But anyway, teach you guys the tricks to the trades, man. Tricks to the trades. Don't say I never taught you guys anything. You feel me? Right? So that's how I grow my equity, right? I take whatever I earn and I grow it. Right? That's why I'm not all in. I'm not all in. I'm not all in, right? I'll have buying power like under $100. You know what I mean? That's how I save my money, guys. But it is what it is. Dang, I could have had. I could have had $25. Yeah, nah, that'd probably be around $23. Yeah. Let's see. All right, let me do my recording for today. I don't wanna have to like figure out how to trim. What do you call that? Yeah. See, I won't go in. So I won't go in like. Well, I'll show you. So if it's already moving already, like any of this time, I will never go in, right? Because if I go in right now in the money, right, I'm literally taking it wherever it's at right now. You know what I mean? Unless I buy it, you know. Well, yeah, that's not the case either. Unless I buy like a direction going up from here, which Why would I, right? It has this whole bearish sentiment the whole time, right? My big arrow, right? Why would I go in from here to here? You know, on this arrow right here. Why would I go in from here to here? Why? It doesn't make any sense for me to go in from there to there. It just doesn't, you know. Yeah. You know what? I'll keep it authentic. Let's do it this way. I won't I won't try to do a recording right now because I'll just whenever I'm done, I'll just download it from. Well, I'll see how long the downloading process is on a full video, right? So mind you, could be a long video too because we're literally doing it. It's already been like what, since 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7:30, 8:39 o'clock. That's 2.5 hours already. You know what I mean? So if I end it right here, then yeah, you know what I mean. Like I have 2 hours to like trim, edit, or maybe just take out the good parts. Yeah. See, look. So if I take a long position, right, like I said, right, if I the only way for me to get a good discount is if I take a long position, right, and hopefully it goes back up. But the problem is you have everything going against the market right now, to where it doesn't make sense for anyone to take it, right? Unless one thinks that, oh, it's gonna reverse from here on in half a day, right? Since we are past the 4 hour mark, right? But it's not. It's not. I'm gonna tell you right now that it's not. There's nothing about the news today to indicate for it to go back up. Did gold? Let me see. See if gold went. Ooh, gold almost at 3,000, guys. Right. So yeah, you got the SMA, you get the EMA, you get the price line. You got this crazy line, right? So if I were to put this crazy line up there, no, it's not even going to touch this line because it went way below this line. You know what I mean? So, and then for anyone to look for a pattern right now, do you guys see any pattern? You know what I mean? Like maybe a channel right here. Let's see. Look, you get channel pattern, right? So you got my arrow and this line right here. That's your pattern, right? So your channel, right? And then okay, so you have a descending channel, right? This and this, right? And you let's go look at Google and ask Google what the descending channel is gonna produce, right? Descending channel pattern. There we go. So descending channel pattern is gonna produce an upward move, bullish movement going upward after it pulls out of the top part of the channel here, the resistance. off channel. Right. So it needs to touch. Well, uh, so it needs to touch the bottom again, right? So if I extend this all the way down, right? So it needs to touch the bottom again. So where the bottom's gonna be, so to me that does not look like it's deep enough to touch the bottom by today at all, right? For one, you're just gonna miss your time frame of just put that right here. I'm gonna have to redraw it anyways. I don't want to redraw that. All right, yeah. For one, it's never gonna touch the line today, right? So you're basically not making no money today at all if you're gonna wait for it, right? Right. So you would probably wait until it touches the bottom, right? Look for some sort of confirmation. Boom, right there, right? And then tell yourself, like, dang, it's gonna pass the resistance. So your confirmation is gonna be on this line somewhere, right? You gotta wait for it to test it. So yeah, it needs to go over, come back down, right? Touch it and start shooting to the moon. That's too much going on. you you're looking for a week's time frame for to do it. It will do all of that, right? And that's the funny thing is it will do all of that, right? But it's just it's not realistic to make money, right? That's why they call it swing trading, right? Like, you know, how far can you predict the future? But the problem is the future is only like a step ahead, right? So nothing is ever swinging correctly, right? That's why being a swing trader is not good either, right? Because your best bet is only a step ahead, one step, right? You take it to the time frames, you know what I mean? Like, but at least keep it one day. You know what I mean? That's why day trading makes the most sense. That's why they have to regulate the rules, right? Why are you forcing us to have penalties, right? Making us do the swing trades when it's riskier to do the swing trades than it is to do the day trades. Everyone making money on the day trades. You know what I mean? I saw that from the get go. I'm like, yo, everyone making money on the day trade. Like, why you making? And then they say, oh, it's what you call it? It's a safer bet, right? It's only safer when you're not in the money. When you're in the money, see, the thing is, you want to be in the money with a longer time frame because the less risk is the fact that your theta or your delta or whatever the Greek symbol is for time decay, right? The number's still really high. You know what I mean? So that can produce the your bigger percentage in your capability to gain, right? Because once time decay expires your contract to zero, which is to lose money to zero, right? Then you're pretty much out, lost it anyways, right? And it could happen literally this no, actually, if you have it long enough, right? Let's say someone took a contract for a 2 years term, right? To the end of the contract, right? For 2 years it could do a whole reversal and it could surpass higher highs, right? So you can actually make a lot of money. You know what I mean? I did that on a paper trading account, right? And I was able to get it SPY at like $500. Now where is it at right now? 750, right? Like 20. It's sitting at $28,000 right now on the SPY. You know what I mean? And it's not even over yet. You know, and it was single leg, right? So it has no limit to how much it can grow, depending on the value of the stock. At the end of the day, right? It can go to $100,000 if the value of the stock increases to like 20,000 or something like that, right? You know, 1,500. Oh no, 20,000, 2,000. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, yeah, I say like 2,500. They probably make $100,000 on that paper, on that fake contract. But yeah, you know what I mean. So like, is this a channel pattern? No, I wouldn't call it a channel pattern because it never touched the bottom here, right? So for one, if someone were to read this as a channel pattern, then they already got it wrong. It's not a channel pattern. But what I was thinking though earlier on when I started to do trades, I was thinking about like this whole thing, right? I'm like, okay, it's easier to watch it go up than watch it go down, right? Because your brain gotta reverse everything, right? Um, Sometimes, but the thing is, right? When you watch something crash, sometimes you're just like, your jaw just drops because it moves so fast when it crashes, but it takes so long for it to rise. You know what I mean? Like it gets stuck under resistance. But, would you say it's 50-50? When the overall market, right? If you look at it, like all historically, right? And look at the day frame, right? Historically, the market has been like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, like this part right here, whatever, boo boo, right? But when you start looking at the exponential growth of it from here to here, say from here, not trying to give me the line or what? Yeah, I guess it was like, nope, we're not giving you that line. What you draw, bro? It said, what you draw, bro? That's crazy. They didn't give me that line to draw. Okay, let's do it again. Boom. They said, what you draw, bro? It don't recognize it. All right, let's oh no, what happened? Bro, I broke mine. I broke my thing. All right, there you go. Bro, I drew that big old dot. Maybe I zoomed out too far. I don't care about that dot. But yeah, what was I talking about? Man, we talking gibberish, bro. Anyways, should I call it for today? Yeah, I'm about to call it for the day, guys. There's nothing for me to do right now. I mean, I'm not gonna get in unless it gives me a good discount. I only got $30 buying power right now. It needs to give me a 70%, a $70, a 70% discount. That's what it needs to give me. I can probably get it. No, I can't. I can't get a 70% discount. I can only get no, I can't. Dang, it went below. Dang, let's see. Let's see the big. 215. No, 1634, bro. Like I said, man, it's so bearish right now. I mean, it's rallying right now. I call it rally bearish. I don't care. Okay, yeah, 16, bro. 1636. That's what we started off with, right? We started off at 16, 20, 24. It went up. It went up like 10. It went up 10, and it did like $1 worth. No, actually, it did $4 worth. No, it's actually 1607. I remember 1604. So it jumped up 30, 30 cents or 30 decimal digits. Okay, see, guys, see, this is what I had to do, right? So for a long time, right, when I was trying to figure it all out, right, everything had to mean something. Everything had to mean something. You know what I mean? I didn't know what the VIX was. I think the time when someone told me about the VIX was um, like you can like it's hard to get it from like YouTube, right? Because YouTube, like you get people saying stuff, and you're just like, damn, these people know a lot, right? But then when you have someone to tell you what it is, like me, I'm telling you what it is, right? VIX tells you the volatility, right? And so I never even knew that there was a like a ticker symbol to tell you the volatility, and people can actually trade on the VIX. I think. Let me see. Can they? I'm just making stuff up. Let's see if you can trade on the VIX. All right, let's see if we can trade on the VIX, guys. Yeah, see, people can actually trade on the VIX, right? It won't have the same day. You gotta swing trade it. You gotta swing trade the VIX. That's insane, bro. Look, you can trade on the VIX. That's hilarious. How do you trade on the VIX on the volatility, bro? That's crazy. I'm gonna guess that next week, 2 days from now, the VIX is gonna be at 20. Let's see, 13, 14. Yeah, bro, come on, that's insane. They don't make no sense to me. I don't see any implied volatility on this. Volume 14. No one's really trading the 22. Look at this volume. There is people on there though that's betting on it. Look at this one. 2,000 people traded on this in the AM. What that mean? AM, PM, AM, AM. Oh, yeah, yeah. We're West Eastern time, right? Yeah, mostly AM. It's mostly AM. Yeah, it's mostly AM. So basically, the Pacific time zone. It crashed below 750. I would have had at least right now probably like 30, 30, 30 bucks, 30 bucks, and then it expires right here at 49, 749. By the end of the day, I would have the whole 70. But it is what it is. I cut out at 20 for my 20%. So I did take profit. That was the profit line right there. 750. That would have been my TP. Stick with thesis? Nah. Don't trust the market. Alright, let's do it. Alright guys, welcome to trade was that Daily Trades by Ren. Today is 10 13 I mean 7/13 2026. So today I got in the market around here, right? I got it for a credit spread of uh 751, going short position, right? And it went all the way down to like, well, I got a discount, so I waited for it to go up above 751 at around 752 something, and I got it for a 70% discount, which means I'll probably make about $70 if it expires to zero. But I didn't wait for it to expire. I ended it right in the middle of or like 751, like 751 12 cents, right? Made about 20 bucks, pulled out. Um, so that's one of my contracts that I pulled out from that I made, and then my very first one, I did it from like here to here. So from the price line to about same contract, same contract. But it was for about the same discount, 70%, right? But I just waited till it gave me $15, and then I pulled out. So 14, I think $14 and $20. So I made about $35 today. That's what I did. This is kind of the graph I drew, right? So initially, it gave us at the 6:30 candle. It gave us a bullish sentiment, right? Which is, you know, you know, it technically on the 1 minute candle, it was showing that it was bullish, so it was going towards the upward position. Let's wait for the 1 minute. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so it's gonna go. It was going up here. So this is 30-minute candle right here, going up, right? So after, 1 minute candle. After third minute, it started to rally right there at 753, and then but it was at the daily um loss of like already $1 already, right? During pre-market. So I had a sentiment going bearish from there on out, right? And I figured that early on at around here. So I started drawing my lines. So it has this bullish thing going on here, bullish thing going on here, bullish thing going on there. But overall, it had a bearish sentiment going down with this arrow right here showing you that it had a bearish sentiment, right? So by the end of the day, I took a bearish move up here, right? Instead of waiting for it to go all the way down here, which probably give my whole $70 profit, I took two different positions going downward and ended about $35 in profit, which to me is better than nothing, right? Overall, I made about 24%. You look at there of gains today, and this is my whole portfolio, and I was able to buy one equity into my favorite position, what you call it, ETF, and yeah, guys, that's what I did today. Anyways, we had a bearish uh, sentiment going down, and yeah, that's what happened today, y'all. So hope you guys were able to catch all of that. If you guys caught me live, then I explained everything how I got all these, and with all kind of like um, tips and education about candlesticks to the movements to my history in trading and everything. So if you watch me live, that's what you get. Again, you catch me live every day, pretty much during trading hours, Monday through Friday between uh, 6:30 to 1 o'clock um, Pacific Standard Time. Catch me on either YouTube, my YouTube channel. You'll find it on my bio, or um, on one of my on my Facebook page. It's gonna be the Trade by Rin Facebook page. Then I got my personal one, but I mean they're both gonna showcase about the same material. But if you want to see me live, you have to go to Trade by Rin on Facebook. Other than that, guys, I hope you guys have a good rest of the day. I think I'm gonna call it for today because I don't need to be on here anymore to do any more trades, even though I got half the trading day still to go. Um, and you know, from here on out, I don't know what tomorrow brings, just because most of it today was um, kind of uh, the movement was kind of like predestined, not predestined, but like reflected the geopolitical issue with Iran, because they uh, Trump and Iran's not getting along, and they're basically doing missile strikes on each other at you know at the place where they're um, transporting oil and stuff. But or the Strait of Hormuz, or whatever we call it. But anyways, yeah, that's it for me today, guys. So again, thanks for joining me um, on Daily Trades by Rin. Today is 7/13/2026. Have a good day, y'all. Peace. We did that. All right, now I gotta do my. Okay, I guess I'm still streaming. I gotta do my what you call it, my edits.